The market is open for you
Yes,
every time. I
absolutely.
don't think so it's any time closed for anybody. It's
School
not
alumni
always
connection.
as dreamy as we
Yeah,
look like when we
yeah.
used to be students.
Nor
but
is it as
actually,
bad.
Yeah, of course, anytime. I agree to that.
Yeah. How to calculate the ROI for an MBA? That is a fun question. Role should freshers aim for in 2024? Can you tell us what openings are there in 2024, Jagruti? My name is Raj Vaidya. I am working with Morgan Stanley. I am mainly into the derivatives market, handling structured products on the trading side. And I'm here with Jagruti.
Thank you so much, Raj. Hi, my name is Jagruti. I work with an executive search firm named the Edge Partnership. Currently taking up on to my designation, I work as a recruitment consultant with the Edge Partnership. So today me and Raj are here to answer certain basic questions which I think young MBA aspirants do have. So yeah, Raj, let's work
we'll
out.
Kickstart. The first one that we have is doing an MBA in 2024 a good idea? According to me, you need to have a very specific perspective of why do you want to do an MBA.
Correct.
You need to have a very good reasoning for it.
Correct.
Apart from that, education at any level, at any age, at any point of time in the year is perfectly amazing.
You should have a goal. Why do you really want to take up a post-graduation? Specifically,
Correct.
what field you want to design your
Absolutely.
career moving ahead down the line. So I think, yeah, it is definitely a good idea if you really have a very good purpose to do it.
The second question that we have is salary more important than the role? So in 2020, when I passed out, I was given an advice from one of the faculties here at VBS. She told me, and we listed down 5 things which are always the basic criteria for a job, which was the company, the brand name, which includes the work environment, etc., everything. The second was your salary. The third is the job location. Is the job located in the city you are located in? Is it some other city, other country, other continent? Then the timing of your job, because nowadays since India have started supporting the global markets, you have varied timing. People work night shift, people work early morning shifts. So that timing. And the final would be the job description, the JD, the work that you're going to do, the role. So when I practically started interviewing for different roles, different jobs, I learned that there are, out of these 5, you will only, on a normal scale, on most of the cases, you will only get 3 of them.
Okay.
I never have found someone who's achieved all 5. Okay. Yes, maybe gradually over a period of time in your role, in your career, let's say after 5 years, you have all 5.
Yeah.
But when you start as a fresher, it is very difficult to have all 5 a job which is like the perfect job.
Correct.
So you need to prioritize what is more important for you.
I prefer the role for me is a little on a very high prioritized section.
Okay.
The reason mainly because is I believe if the role what I'm doing is not up to the mark of what I'm liking to do down the line, I don't think so I'll be able to give 100% input to that work. And of course it will affect the compensation that I'm earning down the line, right? If I'm enjoying my work up till 100%, I'll be able to go to 500% also to give it to the right fact, right? So for me, if you ask me onto my personal road, yes, I think for me, role would be definitely a benchmark if I'm even looking up for a switch down the line later in the years. Because I believe then salary automatically depends on what you work and how you get the numbers down the line. So for me, of course, this is this, but yeah, it depends on personal choice.
It's a very, very personal thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's not always that salary is important. It's not always that the role is important. But yes, on ground, it is the person who needs to choose
Correct.
what
And they
that
need to
person
prioritize
wants.
also.
Exactly.
Of course, that's also
Exactly.
important. Was viewers, yeah.
Uh,
We can pick up the next one. Is there's a shortage in the job market in 2024? I believe it's not a shortage as such of the job market, but what I've been seeing around the trend since last year, companies have become very specific in choosing candidates in terms of the technicalities of what they really want. Initially, if they used to hire a candidate with 10 functions, out of 10 function, if there is 3 also, if it is fulfilling, I think they would be good to go to hire. But since it has become more of a tech environment since last year, people are more specific. Like if they need 5 skills, they definitely need those 5 skills in candidate. They won't compromise down the line, of course.
are you able to join that
Take
job?
up that.
Are you good enough for the company to hire you?
Correct.
So if you are good enough, if
Yeah.
you have skilled yourself to that
Yeah.
extent where a particular job or a particular role that you wish to join and you are good enough for that, then of course the companies will take you.
The market is open for you
Yes,
every time. I don't
absolutely.
think so it's any time closed for anybody.
Agreed.
We'll move to next
Yep.
one.
Is B School alumni connection helpful? Always, I think.
This is for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, so not, yeah, for me, I think for anyone, like for example, if a person today is connected with you, then you as an HR will obviously help that person get a placement,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
the main criteria for students doing MBA,
Of course,
is
of course.
having a job.
Correct.
So a person who's joining you or a person who comes to me and maybe he wants to get into a financial role, then I could help him get into a
Yeah,
company, get
anytime.
into so these connections, they do help you a lot.
Yeah. You actually get to know the reality of the market, that what it is looking like
exactly.
on the other side.
The practical part of
Correct,
it, rather
correct.
than so in MBA you're more speculative.
Correct.
You just assume things, and
yeah.
you just think that
Yeah.
this will be this way, this will be that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
You know, when you join, you get a salary of XYZ amount.
Yeah,
You should get
yeah.
this much. This is how the market is going. But when you actually enter, you understand it's not all correct.
Correct. Correct.
So yeah, a B school
It's not
alumni
always
connection.
as dreamy as we
Yeah,
look like when
yeah,
we
yeah.
used to be students.
Nor
but
is it as
actually-
bad.
Yeah, of course, anytime. I agree to that.
Yeah, so it helps you give a more
yeah.
realistic perspective,
Correct.
I think.
And also, I think if we connect to people who are placed in that particular companies who come down to a college placement, I think we get a better reality of what the company is really doing down the line and how it will help us in boosting our career eventually.
Agreed.
So I think connecting is definitely not a bad idea at all. It in fact increases your knowledge on an individual perspective also.
The second one, the next one is it important to be a part of any clubs or committee at a B school?
I'll agree to this. I will 100%
Totally.
agree to
So
this.
was I think we both have been
Yes.
part to majority as much as our time
Yeah.
allowed us.
Yeah,
and
of
body
course.
allowed us to be. So
And we've
yeah.
enjoyed also
Yeah,
being
it's
in
fun.
this committee.
It's fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We've learned so much.
Yes.
We've given our best onto this committees, I
Yeah.
think so. I remember we being with the marketing cell and placement cell specifically here. I remember with this particular college back then, we were leading the placement cell, you know. We used to literally talk to the companies, aspirants who used to
that's-
come down. We used to interact with them.
Yeah.
How do you take up the process? How do you do? Here, I think being in a committee, you get an advantage of talking to the more and more people who are there
Yeah,
in the process
yeah.
entirely.
Yes, I agree.
Wherein you can pass that information to the rest of the people who may not get an advantage to be in the committee
Correct,
specifically.
correct.
So indirectly, we are helping each other down the line. How to network the right way with seniors and alumni. The same way I did with you.
Yeah, maybe join the alumni programs.
Yeah.
Because I think VBS at the last one was in January.
Correct. Yes.
22nd or something
Yeah,
around that
yeah.
point of time, the weekend there, and you can just be a part of that. You
Yeah.
can meet your alumni
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
and like I said, it's good to meet via LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Because it's more professional.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you can directly connect with them.
Correct.
Ask questions to
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
I think that's that's about it. That's the major
Yeah, I think
ways
that,
to
so
meet
it
with
ends to like LinkedIn is the best way to connect with
To
your
alumni.
seniors and
Yeah.
your alumni, whoever there, because we get to know where they are currently
Yeah.
and how are they working down
Exactly.
the line. Yeah. So
Exactly.
this is what is very simple.
How does B school accreditation matter? I think you would be in a better position to help on this since you are an HR recruiting.
50-50 thoughts very specifically, Raj, because I feel initially every hiring, we do look at the campus they are recruited from, we look at the campus they come down, but I think when I grow eventually 10-15 years down the line, I don't see it like whether the college really, the name of the brand definitely matters. It matters what you've been doing in an experience currently.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think I'll
yeah.
go with 50-50 thoughts. I don't think so it's like an 100% added advantage, but it's definitely not a 0% added advantage also.
Yeah, I agree. People from IIT have become CEOs of Google, but there are many people who could not go ahead in life after a point of time.
Correct.
So it is important, like
Yeah.
you said. Of course, schools do matter. It does matter a lot. More than the school, it is you.
How
do
help
you mold yourself?
Very true. Very
So
true.
accreditation do help you enter. How to calculate the ROI for an MBA? That is a fun question.
I'm sure with your experience you can help students to know this
so
better.
ROI basically, so there are two ways. One, what students these days calculate is I paid
This
X
much?
amount of money, let's
And
say
I've
10
got
lakhs,
this
let's
much.
say 10 lakhs, which is
Yeah.
average, 10-12 lakh rupees I paid, and I got a job of 8 lakh, 7 lakh, something like
Something
that.
around.
Around that, my CTC was 7, 8, and so my ROI is -2. That's okay.
You didn't
That's
get
one way. Another way to look at it in this example would be you paid for 2 years. So your ROI is +6
Of
because
course.
it's 8 into 2.
Yeah.
Another way to look at it is, did you pay to get a job or did you pay
To learn.
to learn?
That's important.
10 lakh rupees is not, or XYZ amount,
XYZ
whichever amount is
yeah,
there
very
for every
true,
school.
Very true.
It
very
is
true.
not for getting a job, because if that was the case scenario, you just go to an HR company, pay them, and they'll give you a job. If that was good enough, they would have done that prior hand. They wouldn't have hired people from an MBA college.
Correct.
They do not even hire all.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
you also faced it. I also faced it. Not
Yeah.
everyone. When a company comes to the college, not every Tom, Dick, and Harry is taken up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think ROI can be calculated on how much you learned,
Yeah.
how much you could upgrade yourself,
Correct.
how much upgrade you got, and what job you got. Of course, you look at the salary as well. I'm not saying, not denying that you don't look at it. What does a day in the life and responsibilities of a manager at Morgan Stanley look like? Well, the day starts with
A good
everything.
strong coffee.
Yeah, a good strong coffee. Yeah, maybe tea, coffee, and then it's so my world is more into supporting on the trading and sales support that we provide to the clients. On the client side, it's more into that business for structured products. So the day is responsibilities as a manager. I think I tabbed before is I have a team under me. So there is you need to handle a lot of different people beneath you. So people management becomes important.
Very important.
You need to be very aware of what do they want. Is their goals, is their career in line with what the company requires?
Yeah.
Because I may be one of those lucky people who've been into a company that has provided me with work-life balance, with as an employee, your goals are very much in line with what the company wants. So it becomes very easier when you are into a company like ours.
Yeah.
People do have goals which match with the company, and if it does not, so God forbid it doesn't, but if it does not, let's say, then there are a lot of transparent conversation that help with managers. So you need to be very open, I think. And as responsibilities, the one thing that we need to be very aware is accuracy, since we are dealing with trades and all. I think it is a very obvious thing which I am highlighting. Just putting it out there is that So you need to be very concentrated when you're doing the work.
Yeah.
What kind of role should freshers aim for in 2024? Can you tell us what openings are there in 2024, Jagruti?
I think the one major concept of companies starting up nowadays a lot things is taking up management trainees. And I think I have seen a difference in, you getting directly your analyst position in one company and you getting a management trainee in one company. And the major difference is management trainee gets to know the entire functions, entire understanding of the company, how does it runs
Wow.
down the line, how does it makes revenue specifically, how does business partners act into it in these situations. Whereas if I compare in terms of becoming a specific analyst to your specific role, you are just minimalizing yourself to that particular role.
Completely agreed with what you say.
Of course.
But if you are, let's say, even if you join as an analyst, so what I'm trying to do is not degrading the analyst work. Is why? Because if you join as an analyst and you're doing your work and you are enjoying it because that's what you're passionate about and you're loving it, you can of course learn about the other aspects by your own networking skills.
Yeah,
You
that's
can,
of course there.
because
Yeah,
I think most
yeah.
of the companies you can just go and randomly meet a person, ask
Yeah.
him. I may be very biased, I may be with this opinion because in Morgan Stanley you're allowed to just go to
Go
and meet a
down
person.
to,
We
yeah,
have these kind
yeah,
of open
yeah.
door sessions where you can meet someone, you can talk to him and just understand what his work is. So I think we are on our last one.
Yeah.
I think
What common mistakes some of the people do make in their first job?
jobs. Well, as a fresher, in my first job, the mistake I made was you tend to take certain things for granted, which is
Yeah.
mainly communication.
Yeah.
I think is what I learned from my experience.
Communication leads to transparency also. If you start communicating on every
Yeah,
aspect,
yeah.
you keep your work transparent, and of
Transparency,
course
yeah.
the company would appreciate that down the line, that okay, everything is clear from your
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
Because there are a lot of mistakes
Agreed,
which
agreed.
usually people do make around.
Yeah, rookie errors,
no
which
person
everyone
is
makes.
yeah,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
person is perfect down the line.
Yeah.
If you want to learn, you have to be transparent. Okay, I don't know this. You will
Yeah,
have
absolutely.
to communicate that
Because
as
if
well.
you do, there's a higher probability that they
They will
might teach
train you. Yeah,
Exactly.
they can put in extra
And
hours
also,
to
I
give you a
think
training around
it
the
also
line.
helps in networking.
Yes, definitely.
I think that's about it. It was fun talking to you.
Yeah, it was
It was a
great
good
meeting
session.
you as well, Raj.
Yeah, it was good to meet you. I think we can end on this.
Yeah.
You guys, anyone watching the video, everyone can connect to us via LinkedIn. I think I say for you as well.
Sure,
You can connect to us
same.
via LinkedIn, and
We would be happy
Happy to connect.
help and
Yeah.
anything in terms of
yep,
that.
yep, surely. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
so
Thank
much.
you so much.